I want to show my children that them being multicultural is not a weakness, it's their superpower. Hallo ihr Lieben! Today's video is going to be in English because this video has been created in order to help out all of the other cross-culture families living in Germany, or really living abroad in general, because you'll all understand this when I bring up the topic of not really feeling at home in your new country, but also in your home country. And then realizing that it's not just tough on you, it's also tough for your kids, even if they were born in this new country, like mine. Both of my children were born in Germany. And raising kids in Germany as a Canadian mom has been magical. It has been wonderful. There's been so many amazing traditions that we have been able to adopt and also carry with us from Canada. Sometimes we're celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving with pumpkin pie. The next day we're out on the streets celebrating St. Martin with our selbstgebastelte Laternen. It is fun. There are many aspects of being a cross-cultural family that is fun, but there's also a lot of parts that make it really tough, like when Mama packs you something super weird for your lunch because it's not typical German, but typical Canadian. Or today was the last day before Christmas break at school and I wrote Merry Christmas und Frohes Neues. And my son was very bothered that I wrote Merry Christmas in English and that I didn't write the complete sentence Frohes Neues Jahr. I did explain that I don't have to write the ja because everybody in Germany says Frohes Neues, but he wanted it to be very particular. And me writing things in English bothers him a lot because it makes him stand out. It makes him different. And when you're young, standing out necessarily, even when you're old, doesn't necessarily feel comfortable. And I understand that. So in the past year, I've been working really hard at finding ways to help my children understand the best of both worlds, the best of both cultures, but also figuring out how to embrace them both and how to be proud of it. I want them to feel confident in both of our worlds. And the one thing that has helped me out hugely has been reading books. And not just any books, but books where they can actually relate to. Stories about families like ours, or better yet, creating them ourselves. Many of you already know that I have spent the last 1.5 years putting together a book series that discusses these cross-cultural experiences that we have as internationals living in Germany. And while these books are designed to make your children feel like they're the stars of the story, we can go one step better than that as parents. We have artificial intelligence out there now, and whether you love it or hate it, there are some huge benefits to what we can customize. So while I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy our full series of books, you absolutely should. I am saying that it is worth putting a little bit of time into creating a book that makes your children feel special. And I have done that not with my own books, but with creating customized books for my kids using one very specific tool. This tool is called ReadKids, and I've tried many other AI tools out there. They are getting better, but so far, especially with the initial phases of the character creation, ReadKids seems to be the easiest way that we can possibly do it because it is so specific to children's books. So they are the sponsor for today's video, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I've created my books for my children so that you can also take these steps towards creating your own book. That is because they also allow me and yourselves, using the link in the description below, to gain access to a 1-month standard plan entirely for free. You get 1,000 bonus new registration points to use towards even more AI integration. And then once you start building, you're actually rewarded even more points moving forward. So this tool is free for you to use for the first month, which is why we're going to go through that today to show you exactly how to create your own book and just how easy it has become to become your own published author. So the focus on today's book that I want to be creating is I want to show my children that them being multicultural is not a weakness, it's their superpower. So let me show you the tool that I used called ReadKidzAI. It's basically your personal picture book creation partner. It helps you create beautiful professional children's books, and within minutes, you can actually do something that would have taken an illustrator months to do before AI was introduced, which means you don't need any animation skill or any writing skills or anything. You really just have to have this idea. So we have our idea, we have our concept, and that's all we need to get rolling with this project. So we're gonna get started here, and like I said, you can start completely free. You get those points when you sign up, and then you get even more when you log in daily. So with these free points, we're actually gonna test out most of their features before we even spend anything, before we even order the book, which means we can now create drafts, we can test illustrations, try animations, and even refine pages using their AI tools without paying anything up front. So as I take you through the creation here, we're just gonna go through who this tool might be best for, their ebook and animation tools, and then jump into their key feature, which is their chat PS. So who is it for? For parents like myself, this is such a gift. If you're a content creator, you can make high quality content without needing to hire designers and animators anymore. You can publish your ebooks, you can animate videos, you can make picture book, really turn any single one of these into a passive income. It's not a get rich quick scheme, but if it's something you've been passionate about that you didn't have the skill to do before, all of this is now becoming more available. And then of course, teachers can also use it too. I think this makes it a lot easier for teachers because they always have something very specific in mind, how they want to address a topic or a theme. And when you're able to use these AI tools and just work at the click of a button, they can pick any theme in the world they want and they can customize that to their specific class. So as you can see, this is the ReadKids dashboard. It is the only platform so far where you can actually create a full digital picture book and an animated video at the same time. And of course, the animation part of it is actually what gets my kids the most excited because yes, they love the book, but imagine putting that book into a video. What I also find is pretty cute is that you can add voiceovers to this video. And then this is a big one. My favorite feature right now is this chat PS because this is something I've struggled with using AI before. Basically, you get AI to create an image, and then when you ask for edits, somehow it progressively becomes worse and worse and worse and worse. This is something that I don't think any of the AI bots have figured out just yet. But with this chat PS, it lets you refine illustrations using a natural language. So you just describe what you want changed, like make this boy's jacket red with a white Canadian maple leaf patch on the arm, for example. And then chat PS updates this automatically. So as you can see, there's a lot of different tools that you can explore within the dashboard itself, but all you really need to do is start a new project. Then you're going to choose your storyline. And like I had mentioned, our storyline is going to be about making sure that my children understand that being a cross-cultural family is not a weakness, but a strength. It's their superpower. So we're just gonna type in our story here into this little text field, hit submit, and then you can either choose your own storyline or you can let the AI build one. So in this case, I've allowed AI to build it for me because I'm a mom. I don't have time for this. I want it as easy as possible while getting to the point of what I want out of it. And then it's gonna go into generating these illustrations. Now, first, before you actually start with the pages, you have to define your characters, meaning we're gonna go through and we can actually specifically prompt this AI bot to create exact characters that we want. But before that, we also get to go through this insane library of different styles. And I think, to be honest, that this is my favorite part of ReadKids because I am very picky when it comes to a style of book. My children are very picky when it comes to a certain style of a book. And this gives you, I think, hundreds of different options that you can choose from. So I really liked this one here. It looks a little bit edgy, but it's also very colorful. So we're gonna go with that. And now we can jump in and we can pick our character creation. So for our book, we have Oma, we have Grandma, and then we have the two kids. Of course, we have Mom and Dad too. Because this book is for myself and not for the public, I'm going to make the characters as close to my family as possible so that it's even more relatable for them. Oma always loves to wear black cotton dresses with a red scarf and red pantyhose. My mom, Grandma, always wears a red zip-up sweater with black yoga pants and has her camera pretty much everywhere she goes. My two children can be customized here too, as well as my husband and myself. So once you've selected all of the characters, you can then go in and it will generate your book page by page by page. I do have to mention here that the consistency of each page still isn't exactly where I would like it to be. But again, AI is a work in progress, of course. And the good thing with ReadKids is that if you're planning on printing this book to be an actual paperback book, the team at ReadKids can actually go in. You can create your entire book. And even if the characters and the illustrations don't match up entirely, you can then send these notes to the back end team and they can actually create this consistency for you. For them, it's manual labor right now. Hopefully AI will figure that out at some point, making it easier for them, but it doesn't make it any harder for you. And for me, this is the most important part because, again, I said consistency is key, and right now artificial intelligence just isn't there yet. And that's pretty much it. You've created your own book, but now, as I mentioned, ReadKids is the only one on the market right now who is offering not just a customized picture book for children, but also has the ability to generate that into an animated video. So let's jump in and check that out now too. And once you're done creating this wonderful customized book for your kids, then you can just go ahead and click generate video. And before you generate that video, you have to add some sort of voiceover. You can pick background music, and they have so many different types of voices that you can pick exactly which one you would like for your video. You can then save it and send it to your family as well, or even if you're creating it for somebody you love abroad. There's so many different things that you can do with this tool. So here's the book that we've made together. It's about my two children growing up in two cultures and celebrating both German and Canadian traditions. And now that we're done, we can just submit it directly to ReadKids to print a physical copy. And my kids are so excited to be actually holding this in their hands very shortly. It is in the mail. And of course, alternatively, if you are a content creator and you want to run sales on Amazon, like I have with my own books, then you actually can also do that. You can just download it as a digital file and upload it to Amazon KDP. And that's it. Maybe that's inspired you to create your own children's books regarding their cross-cultural lives here in Germany, or maybe it's inspired you to do something totally different. But I really hope that this walkthrough, this tutorial, gives you a better idea of ReadKids and how you can actually make it work for your family. Of course, if you are also a cross-cultural family, then I have a few more quick tips for you. Reading books is definitely our number one, but there are many other ways that we find ways to stay grounded as a multicultural family, which includes making sure that we celebrate both cultures at all times. Yes, it's exhausting, but what we do is we actually just tone it down a little bit. So instead of doing St. Martin and the Laternenwalk and the Grippchen here, which we do in Düsseldorf, they go door to door knocking on people's houses and they get candy similar to Halloween. We actually don't do the door to door part. We wait until Halloween to do that, to celebrate our Canadian tradition. I also just let my kids mix language. I know there's going to be people that tell you that you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. However, my kids are now 3 and 7, and I feel like we've set a very good tone for our family. We speak English inside the house and we speak German outside of the house when we're with other people, like other German family or friends, and it works. Our house is full Denglish and I don't care anymore. Also, another key idea is to connect with families who speak the same language as you and who celebrate the same cultures as you. Meaning, if I meet Canadian and American families, then we can go and celebrate Thanksgiving with them as well, because it makes it that much more special. Even for Christmas, we're bringing our international families to our place to celebrate our Canadian culture. We're going to be having a Canadian breakfast. But being able to have these families similar to your own also allows your kids to see that it's normal, that it's unique, but it's also fun and awesome, and other kids like doing this stuff too. It's not just your mom forcing you to do Canadian things that you don't want to. And at the end of the day, our home is not just where we live here in Germany. The kids are building their own stories, and I really want my children to be able to include every part of them in their own story and in their own adventure here in Germany. So like I said at the beginning, if creating this book is one of the routes that you want to take, you can test out ReadKids for 1 month in their standard plan for free using the link below. You're also going to get those 1,000 registration credits, and then every time you go back into the dashboard, you're going to get even more credits towards using different features within their platform to build your own customized books. I hope that this has inspired you to create your own cross-cultural traditions and to be proud of where you come from. We're all German, but we also come from many, many other parts of the world, and now we can finally embrace that. Vielen, vielen, vielen lieben Dank und wie immer, bis später.